Okay, let's get started. You're very welcome to this Study at Umeå University webinar. My name is Petra, and today I have two colleagues with me. I have Francine
Hi, everyone.
and I have Gwen.
Hi, everyone.
And it would be great now, before we start, if you can write in the chat where you're from. Bangladesh, Luxembourg, Bristol, UK, Turkey. That's great. We are happy that you're here. India, Ghana.
That's really nice. People from
Yeah,
all over the world.
yes, absolutely. Okay, so today we will talk about Umeå University and the international admissions round intake to start studies autumn 2026. And this is today's program. We will talk a bit about university and the city of Umeå, about housing, tuition fees and scholarships, and of course about the admission process. And basically, this is everything you need to know about applying to Umeå University and learning about Umeå University. And there will be time for questions. You can either write in the Q&A when we're talking, and I will start out talking about the Umeå University, and then my colleagues will pick up if you have questions during my talk, and we can take them directly. But also after we have been going through these different themes, we will show you on the website how you find all the information, and there will be plenty of time for questions.
Exactly.
So
And I would also like to tell everyone that this webinar will be recorded, but you don't have to worry because your names and anything will not be showing on the recordings, just that you can then revisit the webinar, right,
yes,
Petra? Yeah.
and the recording will be published under Meet Umeå University, and you will find the link also in this presentation, but also afterwards in an email. So it will be easy to find. Yes, so here you can see a map. You can see where Umeå is located in Sweden. Uh, a bit up north, about 6.5 hours by train from Stockholm, and 1 hour by flight. We have over 41,000 enrolled students, of which 3,600 are international students. And we have 45 degree programs and over 600 courses taught in English. And students from 60 nationalities are studying with us. So that's really great. This is our main campus that you can see. You can see the difference in the summer and in the winter, and also you can see the northern lights over campus, which I know many of you are longing to see when you get to Umeå. The campus is located close to downtown. It only takes 15 minutes by bicycle. Usually we say that it takes 15 minutes by bike anywhere you want to go in Umeå. And it's just in between the student area where lots of students live and on your way to the city center. So it's a really convenient where it's located. And here's just to get a feeling of the different seasons and what you will experience. It's nice here. We have a pond as well. I don't know if Francine and Gwen, if you have been ice skating. Have you?
I have never dared.
You've never dared.
No.
Oh, I love
I have
doing it. Have
I
you,
have
Francine?
tried, but not on the pound,
Oh,
not on campus. Yeah.
well, this is something you have to do.
Yeah.
So, um, and then we have another campus as well. It's the Umeå Arts Campus. It's located by the river, even closer to the city center. And this is where you will study if you study design, architecture, and fine arts. You also have to pay a visit to our museum in contemporary art. It's the building in the middle, and it's also got, except for great exhibitions, it's got a beautiful view over Umeå. This is from the main campus. But modern facilities are in both campuses, of course. And you can see on the first picture, for example, it's where you can sit and study uh, with the other students and your peers. And to the right, it's a lecture hall. But there are plenty of group rooms that you can book as well for your studies. And there is also a great library with a lot of resources that you're able to take part of when you're a student at Umeå University. Here is how we have divided the programs by subject. And this is also when you log in on our website, how they are divided. But you can also, I will show you later, just search for what you're interested in, and then you will find it as well. But this is just a way to organize our studies. And the headline says World's Most Satisfied International Students. We were part of a survey by the International Student Barometer. This was autumn 2023, and this was the last time we were part of it, and we became #1 globally in living, support, overall satisfaction, and overall happiness. And this is something that we are extremely proud of. I think this is why we come to work every day, because we know that our students have a great time at Umeå University, and that all the work we put in is really, it's worth it. It's for you that we're doing it. And one reason why we got the top ranks is also the buddy program, I believe. It's a program that you can join when you're a student at Umeå University, and you will get to know Swedish people, international students that have been here for a while, and you will learn about Swedish culture. You will do activities together. You will go to a moose farm, for example, and do lots of fika. You probably already know what that is, but that's having coffee and something sweet to it. And this is a great way to get to know people. There are activities every week for you. And then, of course, you're not coming here only for, having a social time. The studies is, of course, the most important thing. And we are really proud in Umeå of having Emanuelle Charpentier. She was a guest professor here when she came up with the CRISPR-Cas, the gene editing tool that gave her the Nobel Prize in Chemistry 2020. And she was just recently awarded Honorable Citizens of Umeå. So she was here just a month ago, I think. And then she talked again about how creative it is to be a researcher at Umeå University, and how the environment here really helps you, to become the best version of you and to really dedicate yourself to studies and research. This is a city. It's one of Sweden's fastest growing cities. Um, it's a great place to live. It's easy to combine nature, activities, culture, history, and city life here. Everything is close, so it's just easy to get around. And I would say that it's an open environment. A lot of people from different countries and different parts of Sweden live in Umeå. If you like training, and even if you don't like training, you should definitely check out ICSU. It's one of Europe's largest training facilities on campus. I know, Francine, you go climbing a lot, for example, and I love the group fitness, Pilates and yoga, for example. Um, this is just a great place to meet up with friends, and it's just placed on campus. So get a rest from your studies and dedicate yourself to some sports. So Umeå University has its own accommodation service. We offer student housing to exchange students and tuition fee paying students. And we offer rooms in corridors, so you live with 6 to 10 people in one shared corridor, and then you have a shared kitchen and common room. It's furnished, you don't have to think about bringing anything with you. and it's close to campus. You can do this for a maximum of 2 academic terms. So this means that if you're, for example, staying for a master program, you have to sign up in the queue to be able to get housing for your second year. And if you are from Europe, then you have to sign up right away to rent. So one there so there's 2 queues to one system, so to say. So one for tuition fee paying students and one for the tuition fee paying students the second year, and for Swedish students and European students, and for everyone that is a student. So if you go on these pages here, bostaden.umea.se and heimstaden.com.se, and sign up. This is a really good advice. And each day is counting as one queue, so you get points for every day. So I would recommend you to just straight after this webinar to go in and sign up. And both pages you can just click up in the corner and then you will get it in English. All right, now it's your turn, Gwen.
Yes, I'm prepared for this part. So I'll be talking about the process of tuition fees and scholarships here at Umeå University. So I'll begin with who is required to pay tuition fees at Umeå University. If we go to the next slide, these are citizens from outside the EU, EEA, or Switzerland. So these are the students who are required to pay tuition fees. There's some exceptions to this rule. If you believe that you're a part of this group that are exempt from paying fees, you need to upload supporting documentation before the deadline. And you can find these dates on university admissions. And an exemption might be that you already have a residence permit for work, or that you're an EU citizen, of course, makes you exempt from paying tuition fees. So you'll need to provide proof of this on your account on university admissions. And as mentioned, all information is on the university admissions website. So how much did students need to pay? All of the information regarding this can be found on the program's webpage, as well as on the page on university admissions when you apply. So these screenshots show what it looks like on our web pages. So you'll notice there's an application fee of 900 SEK. This is handled by the university admissions team. You need to pay this fee in order to be able to apply. And then the total fee there is for the whole fee of the program. And then the installment fee is basically the fee of the whole program divided by the number of terms that the program is given during. So if my maths is correct, this should be 4 installments or 4 semesters for this program in this screenshot. But basically, you pay your tuition fee, you pay per semester, and the fee that you pay per semester is the total fee divided by the number of semesters that the program is given during. And again, all information is on our website. So regarding paying the tuition fee, invoices for new students are sent out after the final notification of selection results are published. This is your admissions letter, which you download from university admissions. You should receive your invoice within 10 working days of you having received your admissions. This is due to administrative time that we need in order to kind of create and send out the invoices. So it'll be sent to you within 10 working days. Instructions on how to pay are included on the invoice. We also have an instructions video that kind of takes you through a step-by-step process of how to pay the tuition fee. So be sure to check out our website. The link is there, umu.se/tuition-fees. So be sure to watch the video when it becomes time to pay the fee. The due date is also specified on the invoice. And we really, really recommend that you pay the invoice as soon as possible. This is because you can't apply for a residence permit until your invoice is paid. It's also important that you pay as soon as possible because it can take up to 10 working days for the payment to be noted on Lardoc. This is due to administrative time, due to bank handling time, due to international payments. They often take longer. So we really recommend that you kind of try and pay the tuition fee as soon as you receive it so that you can get going with the next part of the process. And it's super, super important that you include the reference number when making the payment. So each invoice will have a reference number, and when you make the payment, be sure to give that as kind of the reference or tracking number for the invoice so that we can match the correct payment to the correct invoice. And now onto scholarships. Scholarships are available to students of our English language programs, and they're available to fee-paying students because our scholarships cover partial or full tuition fees. So we don't have any scholarships for non-tuition fee-paying students, unfortunately. In order to be eligible for our scholarships, you need to have applied in the international applications round for autumn 2026. So the upcoming applications round, we don't have any for the spring semester or for the national, I mean, application rounds. So it's very, very important that you apply in the correct round in order to be eligible for scholarships. If you are eligible, you'll be sent an invitation to register interest for our scholarships in early February, and the selection is based solely on academic merit. So there's a kind of scholarships team at each department that looks at applicants' academic merits, and then they are the ones who decide who receives a scholarship. But all of this information, once again, will be either on the website or it will be provided in the invitation that you receive to register interest for a scholarship. As I mentioned, there's some eligibility requirements. Students must be citizens of a country outside the EU, EEA, or Switzerland, as mentioned. You must have completed your application for studies before the application deadline, and you must also have paid the application fee by the deadline stated on university admissions. And you also must have an Umeå University program ranked as #1 on university admissions. And this needs to also be done by the same deadline as the application. And again, all information is on our website. There's a timeline there that takes you through the whole process. So the information that I just shared was regarding the Umeå University scholarships, but there also might be other scholarship opportunities available to you. So we've tried to kind of compile a list here. So there's scholarships offered by the Swedish Institute, and these are the Swedish Institute Scholarship for Global Professionals, as well as Pioneering Women in STEM. And for more information regarding this, please go to their website. We're not responsible for the applications process or nomination process to this. It's completely the Swedish Institute's responsibility. There also might be other scholarship opportunities listed on the Study in Sweden webpage, and there might also be scholarship opportunities funded by your home country. So we recommend that you apply to ours, but also that you look for other opportunities just in case you aren't awarded one of ours. Once I get to the migration agency, this will make a little bit more sense. But here's some information as well regarding just general living costs in Sweden. So this data is taken from the migration agency as well as Study in Sweden. So we estimate that it would cost around 2,770 SEK for food. Accommodation per month would be 4,900, travel 550, phone internet bill around 400, and then kind of miscellaneous fees could be around 1,964 SEK. Obviously, these fees depend on your lifestyle, if you kind of are more prone to budgeting or if you like to splurge, but this is kind of a rough estimation on what it might look like for a student. Yes, work and studies. I might need some help in this part. But tuition fee paying students, generally, you need a residence permit to come and study in Sweden. And the requirement is that you've been admitted to full-time studies. So we don't generally recommend that you also try and work alongside your studies, as the purpose of you being here is to work and your residence permit is for you to work. Also, if you start to fall behind from your studies because you're working, you run the risk of not receiving kind of an extended tuition fee residence permit. So we really recommend that you focus on your studies. But theoretically, it is also possible to work alongside your studies. Have I covered everything in this part? Perfect.
Yeah, it's great.
Yes,
And
and
then
on
this one you're prepared for. So
this one I know.
wait.
Onto the Swedish Migration Agency. Again, the information here is for students from outside the EU, EEA, and Switzerland, so tuition fee paying students. You need to apply for a residence permit for studies. And we really, really recommend that you apply for your residence permit as soon as your payment has been noted on Lardoc. We also recommend that you read absolutely all of the information on the Migration Agency's website. They've created a great website that goes through all of the information that you will ever need in order to send in a successful application. So be sure to read everything there very carefully. A personal tip that I have is to begin gathering documents as soon as possible so that you're ready to send in your application as soon as possible. So once you receive your notification of selection results, your admissions letter, start gathering the documents then so that once you receive that payment confirmation, then you're ready to send in your application. Umeå University also has an agreement with the migration agency where you can apply for a 2-year residence permit. These are for studies on programs that are at least 4 semesters or 2 years. So if you're admitted to a 2-year master's or to a bachelor's program, you can also apply for a 2-year residence permit. This is highly recommended because it means that you don't need to extend your residence permit. Instead, you just receive a residence permit for the duration of your studies. So I think it's really worth the stress of not having to kind of send in an updated application. So if you can, we really recommend that you apply for a 2-year residence permit from the beginning. There's also some helpful video on the Study in Sweden YouTube channel that goes through about residence permits and what you need to think about. And again, if you have any questions, contact the Swedish Migration Agency directly. Unfortunately, Umeå University can't contact the migration agency on your behalf as we're two separate agencies, and we're not allowed to influence one another. So if you have any questions about migration, please contact them directly. And as I said, the Swedish Migration Agency has a lot of great information on their web pages. So we thought it would be useful to kind of guide you to the right page. So if you go into the Swedish Migration Agency's webpage, which is migrationsverket.se, it's in the bottom right corner there. And then you click on the kind of header you want to apply, and then study, and then higher education. And all of the information that you need is going to be on that webpage there. And the QR code takes you to that final, the higher education website. Once you get to the higher education website, I wanted to give some info about where you find the information that might be relevant to just you. So be sure to click on prepare this before you apply. And then you get up this kind of information box shown on the left here. And then if you click on personal bank assets, for example, that will give you more information on exactly what they need on the personal bank assets documentation, which is needed to show that you meet the maintenance requirement. So be sure just to read all information in this section, the prepare this before you apply section. On the same web page, they've also created a kind of how to apply section, which takes you through the process from start to finish. So again, just be sure to check out their web pages.
Great, thank you, Gwen. I don't know if we have received any questions. Can you check, Francine?
Yes, we have received a question that I answered, but I thought it was an interesting question, so I'll read it out. Any application fee waiver for attendance of this webinar?
Oh, that was
That was
sweet.
really nice. We
Yeah.
wish we had, but I think the information that Gwen provided about waivers and scholarships is it's quite enough for you to start the process and see if you're eligible for a tuition fee waiver. And then the other question was someone that wonder if the 900 crowns application fee is for all 4 programs or if it was 900 crowns for each program that you apply, which is the answer is that of the application fee is for the whole application. So it's a unified application, regardless if you're applying to 2 programs at Umeå University and 1 in another university. It's always only 900 crowns for your application. All right.
And
I see.
Francine,
Oh, sorry.
okay, I take my question first. Francine, if you're applying for bachelor's, how many programs can you select?
You can select 8 bachelor programs and 4 master's programs.
Okay, great. And Gwen, what did you
And it
want to
will be
say?
the same application fee, just so you know.
I see we have received some questions regarding scholarships, so I thought I could take them now.
Yes.
There's questions about are students from Africa eligible for full tuition waivers? It seems only English programs qualify for it. It's our English language programs. So it's our programs given through the medium of English. So these are our programs for all international students who are required to pay tuition fees. So if you come from Africa and you're applying for one of our English language master's programs, i.e. programs taught in English, then you're eligible to apply for our scholarships, so long as you meet all of the other eligibility requirements that I mentioned. And then there's a question if there's any chance to get a scholarship during the course if someone else, if they don't receive it in the beginning. Yes, but this depends on kind of whether other students who received a scholarship drop out and can't begin their studies. So we can never guarantee that if you don't receive a scholarship in the first kind of round, that you'll receive it later. We can't guarantee that, but there is a possibility if other students who receive the scholarship can no longer study.
Okay, great. So then we can move on with Francine and the admissions
All right.
process.
So now you heard all about Umeå University. You heard all about the possibilities for scholarships and tuition waivers. So you're really keen to apply to Umeå University. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that, and hopefully I'll be able to answer all your questions regarding the application process. The dates that you see on the screen are the key dates and deadlines for the first admissions round for autumn 2026. It's an admissions round that just opened on the 16th of October. So just last week it opened, and is going to be open until January 15th, which means that this is when you have to go select your courses, rank your courses, and click on the button to apply now. After that, there will be several other deadlines, but the application needs to be in by January 15th. Then there is the next deadline will be on February the 2nd, when you have the documentation and fee deadline. So this means that you have to have paid your application fee and submitted the documentation that you need to prove eligibility and every other requirement that the program that you're applying is requesting. After that, you're going to wait a little bit, and then you can start preparing perhaps your migration documents, taking a look at the websites to see what it is that you would need to have for documents in the next stages. The admission results will come on March 26th, which gives you time enough to prepare for your move to Sweden. So just after that, make sure you pay your tuition fee, and then you can start applying for the visa to move to Umeå. And then the admission results for bachelor studies will come on March 31st. And the autumn semester starts on August. So from March, at the end of March until August, you have time enough, hopefully, to get your residence permit and to move to Sweden. And if you come from an EU, EEA country or Switzerland, you don't need a residence permit. You can just plan your life ahead and of your studies. Right. So these are two QR codes that we try to sort out our master's programs and bachelor programs in different lists. It's just a way to sort out the programs, so it makes it easier for you just to select the one of your choice. But you will get links for everything that we are talking about after this webinar. So don't worry if you cannot scan the QR code. If you're watching from your mobile, you're going to get a link after with a page with all the links to this webinar when you are finished here. So after that, you're going to find your program, you're going to select it, and you're going to pay attention to the requirements. What do I need if I'm applying for a master's program? So there is always general entry requirements and specific entry requirements. As to general entry requirements, what you need is a bachelor's degree, but you can apply in the final year of your studies. And when you apply for programs or courses in Sweden, you are always going to do that to this national application portal that you heard already before here. Gwen was talking about it. That is called University Admissions. So over there, you also find information about general and specific English requirements, and also on our webpage. So the general entry requirements are that you have concluded your bachelor degree or that you are about to conclude your bachelor's degree. And then for each program, there might be specific requirements that are often related to the major of the studies that you're applying for. So if you're applying for an economy program, it's probably going to require that you have study courses within those subjects that are relevant to that master's degree. Some programs that they have like a broader perspective in the requirements that they are requesting, but it would always be specified at the program's webpage. Some programs, which are at Umeå University, very few, is mostly connected to design, arts, and architecture. They might require a portfolio or a letter of intent or a motivation letter. But it's not the usual case. Most of our programs, all you're going to need to submit is your transcript of records and your diploma when it comes to requirements. All right, if you're applying for bachelor's, what you need is you need to have concluded your upper secondary studies, and your upper secondary studies have to make you eligible for higher education in your country of origin. So if your education there makes you eligible for studies at academic level, then you would also meet the basic requirements here, as long as you also have English or Swedish if you're going to study in Swedish. But this will not be the case at this webinar, so people are probably looking into education that are in English. And then the specific requirements for bachelors would also be specified at the program's webpage. And it's going to be also related to the kind of bachelor program that you're applying for. If it's more towards economy, it's going to probably be requiring more mathematical studies and things like this from your upper secondary studies. If it is more towards art, will also be requiring probably a portfolio. So regardless if it is a bachelor's or a master's program that you're going to apply for, always check the program webpage so you know exactly what it is that you need to submit in terms of entry requirements. Right, next one. When it comes to English, we always get the question, but I'm a native speaker, but sometimes people, even coming from countries that they have studied in English for a certain period of time, when it comes to English, there are basically 3 ways that you can prove your proficiency in English. And I suggest that you check up those 3 ways in this order. The first one is that you could be eligible in English through your upper secondary studies from some countries. I'm going to guide you through this process a little later to see how you can navigate university admissions to find the information whether you are eligible this way or not. The second way is through previous university studies from some countries as well. And the third way, which anyone can be, is by achieving the required results in an English test, such as IELTS, TOEFL, or Cambridge, for instance. We accept a number of different tests, so there's always information at the university admissions towards which ones and which score you need, right? It's good to plan ahead, because if you need to do a test, you probably have to book it in advance, and the English is due by February 2nd, right? So requirements, what does it mean for you? When I said that the information is at university admissions, is because depending on from which country you have your education, you will have to take a look of which documents you need to provide, if it is just a transcript of records, your diploma, do you need a diploma supplement, am I eligible? All this information will be in the country instructions when you're applying for masters and when you're applying for bachelors. And there you can see at your screen the pathway to that information, right? I'm going to navigate through the pages later so you can see. So the application step by step is basically that you create a user account at university admissions. You choose a maximum of 4 master's programs and 8 bachelor's programs. You're going to rank the programs in the order that you want the most, as is at the top. The ones that you want not the most are at the bottom. So actually just think about what you really, really want and rank in that order, because that doesn't kill your dream then if you rank in a wrong way. And then you have to check the required documents that you need to submit, and you pay the application fee. When it comes to the required documents, you also have to check your country webpage to see at university admissions to see how you should be submitting your documents. Some countries, and most of them, you just submit by uploading the documents into university admissions. But there are countries like the US that you need to send in your records and your documents in different ways via regular post or direct from your university to university admissions. So you always have to check the country instructions, right? So the supporting documents are usually the official transcript of records of your studies, a diploma certificate showing that you have concluded your studies, or a statement of enrollment if you are in the last year of your bachelor's program. And then a passport page so we can verify your identity and your citizenship to check if you are exempt from paying application and tuition fee and so on. And then the proof of English proficiency. And the English proficiency, as I said, it could be either a test or your academic records or your upper secondary records as well. Additional documents. So this is a question that comes a lot. People saying, oh, do I need a letter of intent or a motivation letter or work samples? As I said, a CV. As I said, most of our programs there will not be requiring those additional documents. Apart from architecture, industrial design, in the 3 master's programs that we have, or the arts program, and some programs within economy, they will be not requiring, but if you have some other tests that could be helpful. So always check the program's web pages to see what documents you need to submit. If you don't need to submit any of those because it's not required either for eligibility or for selection, don't do it, because it's not going to help your case. That's what I mean. So if you send in a letter of recommendation and we are not requiring it, we are not going to look at it. Okay? So just check what it is that it is required of you at the program's webpage. Common mistakes that people do when they are submitting their documents is that sometimes people send uncertified copies, black and white copies. Especially if you're uploading your document, you should always scan front and back. If there are any signature on the back, we need to see that. If the document is in color, we need to see the color. We have specialists looking at documents to avoid fake documents and so on. So we need to see the full document in all of its details. So scan it in color and front and back of all of your documents. Some people send in uncertified translations, which means that they translate themselves or not by a certified translator. And we do not accept that. It needs to be, if you need to submit translations, you will need to do it in the proper way, or if it is a document that is already issued originally by your own institution in English or Swedish, right? Then we can accept, but not any other uncertified translation. Sometimes people also send in incomplete transcripts of records, so not showing all the courses that you have studied. Sometimes they don't send in a diploma or proof of ongoing studies, so this will disqualify you because we cannot verify that you're either finished or about to finish your studies. As I said, sometimes people incorrectly submit the documentation. Instead of uploading, they send it in another way or the other way around. And that people forget to send in the proof of English proficiency, which will disqualify you straight away. So make sure that you gather all the documents that you need. Don't wait too long if you already have the documents, you can upload them or send them the way that you are supposed to send as soon as possible, so you don't miss the deadline as well. Right. So, important web pages. University Admissions is the national application portal where you're going actually to do your application. You can navigate Umeå University webpage as much as you need to find information about your programs. But when you click on Apply Now, that will lead you straight to University Admissions, and then you're going to find more information about the application process over there. Sweden Abroad is a very good web page to get acquainted and informed about how it is to live in Sweden, what are the things you need to do before moving here, and studying Sweden as well. It's a very useful web page that gathers all the information that you need about higher education in Sweden. So I suggest you visit all of those pages to gather information and make an informed choice. Yes, and then also, if you want to get a nice perspective, or you can also chat with our students. We have nowadays 5 student ambassadors that are chatting via a chat platform that is called Unibody. We do that because this is a safe platform, and then you can ask all sorts of questions that are study related to our students to see what are they thinking about their studies here? How is life as a student in Umeå? What do they think about their program that they are studying, and so on and so forth. So please take the opportunity. They're super nice to talk with. And then they can also help you with a lot of practical questions about your move to Sweden. And then we have some other useful websites. The first one is one that we have prepared for you, is the International Student Guide, where you're going to find everything from living costs and places to go, things to do, how the university works, a little guide in the application. So just visit about housing, just visit this guide. It's really helpful. Then you can also contact a study counselor. Study counseling at Umeå University is totally free of charge. You can book a meeting with a study counselor that will guide you also through the application and perhaps let you understand how the eligibility works. If you are undecided about choosing program A or program B, you can talk about it with a study counselor. It's really helpful. And it's free of charge, and you can book a virtual meeting with them one-on-one. So sometimes it helps a lot in the decision-making process. Then you can also visit our webpage, Visit Umeå University, to see where we are going to be around the world. We have some education fairs that we are about to participate this semester still. There will be other webinars that you could participate. So just check this webpage to see where you can meet us. And then, of course, our education web, where you will find all of the courses and programs that we offer in English, and hopefully all the information that you need to make your application. And of course, we have a unit here at the university that is called the Info Center. And as the name says itself, it's a center of information. You can get most of your questions answered by the Info Center people. They're really, really aware of all the questions that the students are usually wondering about, and they have most of the answers about everything at the university. So just send them an email, and you will get an answer very quickly by the Info Center. colleagues. We have telephone hours as well that you can call. And if you happen to be in Umeå, you can even visit us in real life at the working hours from 8 to 6:30 to 4:30. So that's it, I think. And I'm wondering if you have had many questions during the time that I was speaking.
There was a question regarding English tests, regarding
Yeah.
which online or which English tests are accepted.
Oh, right. So I think I will just do this. I will start navigating straight to the web page because then I can show you. Let's see if I can do this correctly. I'll just open a web page here. So this is basically the national application portal that I was talking about. And here, if you scroll a little bit, you'll see all kinds of information that you can get from this web page. Apply to masters, apply to bachelor's, dates and deadlines. And when it comes to English tests, there's different ways to navigate, but this here at the bottom, there is a lot of information gathered about the English tests. And then the level of English that we require at Umeå University is the equivalent of English 6 of the upper secondary studies in Sweden. So what is equivalent to English 6? We're going to have to see in a moment. But there are basically 3 ways, as I said, to meet the English requirements. And the first one is through upper secondary studies. I'm giving a long answer to the question, right? Upper secondary studies, you just click there and then you read about it. And then here there will be a link that says, find your country of study at the required document page. And then I will show you my country of origin. I come from Brazil. Let's see if I would be eligible with my upper secondary studies to study in Sweden in English. So I just go there to Brazil. And then I can see straight away that meeting the general entry requirements, like with this, but with the English requirements here, completed in this country do not meet the English requirements for studies in Sweden. So now I know that I will have to go through another way about the English. And then if I just go back to steps, I can check, do I meet the English requirements by previous academic studies if I'm applying for a master's? And then you'll see that you need to have studied at least 60 credits with English as a language of instruction from an EU country, Switzerland, and certain other English-speaking countries. And here is a list. So if you have studied at least 60 credits in any of those countries, you would be eligible in English with the English as the language of instruction. So that's the other way. And then you wouldn't have to do the test, right? But if none of those options is appropriate for you, then you will need to do an English test. And then here is where you see which English tests we accept and which results you need. So basically, here you can see it's IELTS, and then there will be TOEFL IBT, there will be Cambridge, Michigan Language Assessment, there will be Person's PTA Academic or Academic Online, Cambridge English Qualification. So there's a number of tests that we accept, and you always look for what you need for English 6, which score you need for English 6. I hope I have answered the question. It was a long answer, but
Yes, I think so.
all right.
There was also a question regarding if there's a specific contact for applications to the MA in Advanced Product Design. So I'm wondering if you can show the webpage and how students can find who to contact.
Yes, of course. So just navigate to the page. I'll just go through. This is the filter that I said, all the master's programs, and it was Advanced Product Design.
Yes.
And here on the web page, you can see if you scroll down all the way, there you see the program director, Thomas Deng. You can contact that person.
And all programs will have either the name of the person or they'll have a contact us box that you can use to get in touch with the program director or with the department who gives the program.
Exactly. So yeah, just scroll after all the information about the program, you'll find either a contact form, as Gwen said, or the name of a person of contact. And then it's also after all the information of the program that you see the apply section. You can also navigate here on the sidebar, but it's usually in the very, very bottom of the page. And you can see now it's lit here that you can apply. And if I decide to apply for this program and I click apply now, it's going to take me straight to university admissions. And then if I want to see more information about the program and I click here, it's going to take me back straight to the program information. So all the web pages are interconnected. Right. Any more questions?
Francine, would you like to show what you can find under apply?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Because we are getting a lot of questions about eligibility, right? So if you click on the apply section here, or if you scroll down, you will see that the menus, this one doesn't count, but the menus are like, they are going to show for the first time like this. And you always have to click on show more because the information is kind of hidden. It's not expanded when you click it on the first time. And when it comes to eligibility, it will be basically the same. You have to click on show more so you can see all the text that is here. So my recommendation is click on everything that is under the apply area. If you see anywhere that is like show more, click, because this is very important information. It's everything about eligibility and selection. And also selection, you need to know what it is that they are going to take in consideration when they are selecting you, if you are eligible. So here, there's another show more. So click in all the show more areas of the apply section.
I can second that that's a good rule of thumb for all websites. Anything
Yes,
that's
exactly.
clickable, click on it to receive and see more information. I think it's a
Yes.
lot more useful to read something that maybe isn't useful to you than to miss something
Mm,
that was very important. So,
exactly. Totally agreed. Okay, any more questions?
there was a question regarding graduating high school and how to provide documents if you're in your final year of high school applying for a bachelor's.
Okay. So then is a little bit of another situation because when you are applying for a master's, you can apply in the last year of your bachelor's, which means that if you get accepted, you will be conditionally accepted, provided that you can finish your bachelor's before you start your master's here. But when it comes to applying to bachelor's and your last year of high school, we don't do conditional acceptances based on upper secondary studies, unfortunately. So when you apply, you need to have, by the last application date, your high school diploma, upper secondary studies diploma, and the transcripts of record. So you need to have actually concluded your upper secondary studies.
But if you are European, for example,
Yes, if you
then
are
you can apply
European,
later.
yeah, it's not really connected to your citizenship, but it's connected to the fact that if you are studying according to an European program, that you can apply in the second round to study in the same academic year, so to speak. So are there any Europeans in the room that are interested in bachelor's? Just hands up or hands up.
It looks as though we have some people doing hands up and writing in the chat
Okay.
function.
Okay. Because then my suggestion, if you're studying according to a European curriculum or EEA or Switzerland, you will have to apply in the second admissions round, which is between March and April. And you have then up to the 5th of July to submit your documents, which is about that week or a few weeks earlier than that you will have your diploma. Because this is when you're about to finish your high school.
The exception in that case would be British citizens.
Exactly. Yeah. They are not part of the EU. So unfortunately, they will have to wait a longer period, maybe next year to apply. Yeah.
Could we just add to clarify that we showed the timetable before that you should apply before 15th of January to start your studies.
Yes.
And for you from Europe that are not in your last year from high school, it's good to apply in this first round because then you will get your admission results earlier and you will be able to apply for housing earlier as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the recommendation, as Petra said, always applying in the first application admissions round because everything finishes earlier and you have time to plan your life. But this is an exception for Europe, people that are studying in Europe and that don't need to apply for a resident permit as well. So then there is another admission round.
Francine, should we show the different country instructions?
Yes, let's do that. So I'll start with apply to masters, and the process is basically the same for if you're applying to masters or bachelors. So you just click here, apply to masters. I really, as Gwen said, recommend that you read through all the information on this web page. But there will be a part here that says provide application documents. And this is where you're going to find the country instructions. And then there will be another page that I really recommend that you read everything. But then you can choose the country instructions after you read the first part. And from here, you would choose the country where you have been studying. So not your country of citizenship. For instance, I am Brazilian, but I could have been studying in Italy, for instance. So I would choose then Italy here. If I have education from different countries, then I will look into both countries, right? But just for the sake of the example, I'll continue with Brazil here. And then I will choose Brazil. And then, as I showed you before, there will be compiled information that is relevant for me that have my previous education from Brazil. I can see if I would meet the general entry requirements for a master's and what kind of studies I need to submit or diplomas. I can see if I will be meeting the English requirements with my upper secondary studies or not. I can see the name of the documents and certificates that I need to submit. And above all, which also I didn't name as a common mistake, is whether I need translation of my documents or not. But the common mistake that I didn't name before is that people forget to submit their original language documents when they do the translations. So whenever you need to do a translation, you need to submit both the original document in the original language and the translation. Just have that in mind. So here you can see all the information that is relevant for that country of study. So this, I went through apply to masters, provide application documents, and country instructions. And then if I'm applying to bachelor's, I would do exactly the same thing. I go to apply to bachelor's. I read through all the information here, but then I can take a look at provide application documents specifically, and then country instructions here. And then I can choose Brazil again. And here I'll have a little bit of a different information. There will be information regarding sometimes equivalences of high school courses and things like that. So this is where you find the country instructions information.
We had another question regarding if the university that the student is studying at doesn't follow ECTS credit system, how can that be converted? Is that also found on these web pages?
Well, yeah, ECTS, it's an European system. So it's basically, if what you need to have in mind is that the Swedish academic credit is equivalent to ECTS. So in Sweden, a full semester of full-time studies is equivalent to 30 credits, which is equivalent to 30 ECTS. University admissions usually doesn't provide a direct translation of academic credits from different countries. Sometimes you can get a glimpse of that, knowing this that I just told you about, but you're going to have to do the math yourself. So if your program is requiring at least 60 ECTS in a certain field of study as eligibility criteria, you're going to have to do the math a little bit yourself. And then they are only going to process this information and assess the equivalences once they go through the admission process. You have paid your application fee and the selection is already in process. Then they will let you know if you are eligible or not.
I think good to know as well is that 60 ECTS or 60 credits in Sweden is equivalent to 1 year of studies,
1 year.
and 120 is equivalent to 2 years. So you can also
Yes.
use that as kind of a little rule of thumb.
Yeah. So 30 one semester, 60 1 year, 120 2 year studies.
Great.
Right.
What other tips do we have? Perhaps to apply before deadline even? Because
Yes, of
then
course.
university admissions, they start to look at applications, to see if there are any, if they're missing documents or something, they
Exactly.
start looking at it before 15th of
Yeah.
January.
Yeah. Exactly. The earlier you apply and submit your documents and pay the application fee if you have to, the earlier they can assess your application. So if you apply earlier, it might happen that they will give you the heads up, oh, this is missing. And then you have enough time to submit whatever is missing, right? But if you apply very close to the deadline, you won't have time to act, even if they will get in touch with you saying, oh, you have missed this document. Another thing that it's a good tip, I think, that I can recommend is that create your account at university admissions right away, because you see here there is a selection. And you can actually like programs if you log in. So you can have like a pre-list of the programs that you're interested in your liked area before you start to applying for them. And also, if you're searching for courses and programs, we want you to make a funded decision. So if you're looking around of programs and courses, sometimes it's easier to find them through university admissions. You can search here through keywords. You can select one university or all of the universities. You can select courses and programs, different subjects, if it is bachelor or master's level. So there are different filters here, as well as our webpage. Also, use the filter. Here, we try to make a pre-filtered list for you with bachelor programs, masters, and exchange studies. But you can actually filter yourself. You just click on search here without writing anything, and then show more filters. And then you can start filtering by keyword or study area, subjects, which semester, course, program. And you see there's a lot of parameters there for filtering. So that's, I think, a good tip.
Yes, great. Do we have any more questions?
A question recently came in regarding, is it common to stay on or extend a visa and stay in Sweden after studying to look for work? Yes, there is the opportunity to do that. So once you've had a residence permit for studies, there is the opportunity for a kind of job seeking visa 1 year after. But all questions regarding that should be directed to the migration agency.
Yes. And it's common, right? Gwen, I think everybody that has the opportunity to stay, they really try to search for work here.
If you love Sweden and want to stay, then
Yeah,
it's common for those students who had a
yeah,
great time and want to move
yeah,
here. Mm.
yeah. Well, in the meantime, if no other question is posted on the Q&A, I would like to show you this webpage because we talked about the housing situation, right? We recommend that everybody register at the municipality housing system, which is this webpage that I'm showing here. And here, unfortunately, you have to change to English through the menu there. And what is required of you is just that you register at this web page. And then you can navigate here and see. Let me just, they changed the web page quite a lot. Gwen, you are probably
I think
visiting
if you
this.
click on my pages there next to, yeah, and then you
Okay,
can choose
register. Okay,
register.
yeah. So
And
I clicked
then,
on the arrow, it was it. And then you have to change to English again.
yes,
So those are basically the fields that you have to fill in. It's your user ID, your birth date, if you don't have a Swedish social security number, your passport, password and confirm the password, email address. And then when you've done the registration, it's for free. And then you are already counting how do they call it, credits or
the Q
days,
points.
Q
Um,
points.
mm,
You're counting Q points toward when you actually need to apply for housing with them. So the more Q points that you have, and Q points is basically how long you have been registered in this web page. The more you have, the better. So the longer you have been registered, the better it is, and it doesn't cost anything. And the only thing they require is that you log in every year, I think, and then you even get a reminder about it. Now it's time to log in so you don't miss your queue, you don't lose your queue points.
I think
Yeah.
important to note with Bostaden is that you can register now, so you can do it directly after this webinar, but you can't apply for accommodation until you've received your admissions results. So as we've said a lot of times, sign up today because it's really in your advantage, but you won't be able to apply for anything until you receive that admissions letter.
We could
All right.
share Google Maps, perhaps, Francine, and we can show where most of the
Umeå.
student areas are.
Mhm.
I can quickly name as well with accommodation via the accommodation service of the university. All admitted tuition fee paying students will receive a link in an email that we send out with kind of a newsletter congratulating you on your admission. And again, we really, really recommend that you also join their queue on that same day that you receive that email, because they also operate the same system where it's a queue-based system. So the earlier that you join the queue, the more likelihood that you have of receiving accommodation through them.
That's good. Okay, let's see where we are. We are getting closer to the campus area.
Yeah, the blue spot in the middle is the pond you saw on the pictures in the beginning.
Yes. And then I'm trying to find satellite view. I can't really.
Yeah, but this is
If you
good.
click on layouts down in the bottom left corner, uh,
Um,
a little more to the right.
I
That.
don't. There. Thank you. Thanks.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'll try to do it slowly. This here is the building that we are right now, all of us, Petra, Gwen, and myself. And then this is the pond in the middle of the campus. And here is the building, the social science building, the library. So what is really nice about Umeå is that the whole campus is around this, the main campus is around this pond, and it gives you the opportunity to see and interact with students from all study fields. This is where the humanists are studying psychology, social science, and political science and geography. Here is the hospital area, so that there are a lot of people studying um, biomedicine and molecular biology and medicine itself, and you're interacting with Swedish and international students all around campus. And let me just do that. The student living here, this is also university here. I don't know if you see my mouse running around the screen. Do you?
Yes.
Okay. So this is also the biology building, chemistry, and so on and so forth. And here is one of the biggest student housing areas that we have. So it's very close. It's basically that you just go across the street. Let me just show it. Wait. You just go across the street and you are on campus. And then here as well. So that's 5-minute walk, and here's about 7 to 10 minute walk. Also another big student area. It's called Olidhem. There's also a mini shopping center and 3 different supermarkets here. And then I don't know if you guys have visited Umeå by Google Maps, but you can see the amount of green that you see in the city. So this is basically forest. This is where people come to see the northern lights because it's very dark at night and there's all this nature around. And people do cross-country ski when it's winter over this lake. It's called the Nidala Lake. Yeah, so this is Umeå from an aerial view. It's a beautiful city.
Can you point at the arts campus as well?
Yes, of course. So let's go. We zoom in again. And then you can see that we were here in the main campus. And then just a bike ride down the hill. And then you go this way and this way and this way. And here is the arts campus, where the School of Design, Architecture, and Fine Arts is, and a museum as well.
Yeah, and then if you continue to the left, then you come to the city center of Umeå
Yes,
by the river.
Important to
exactly.
also note is that there aren't any accommodation super duper close to the arts campus, but as Peter mentioned, pretty much
Yeah.
everything in Umeå is close. So we would recommend living in the student areas with other students, get to experience the student life, and then hopefully you can meet some classmates and cycle down to the arts campus where the fields
Exactly.
of art, design, and architecture study.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we recommend to explore Google Maps. You can see pictures of the sites over there. It's really beautiful.
But
Yes.
also there is a page on universities admissions. If you have questions that are not specifically to Umeå University, but it's more about the application process in general,
Yeah.
we can show that page where you ask
Mhm.
the university admission questions.
I will actually show you this page because some people don't find it. Just a second. Here at the menu, university admissions, and then you see their support center here. So you need to click there on that little menu and then go to the support center. And actually here they have a very, very good Q&A. You can find answers to most of your questions when it comes to English requirements, eligibility and merit rating and everything also for.
Great.
And
I
you can also
think
chat with them. They have a chat function that it's pretty good.
great. So I think we're ready to wrap this webinar up.
Yes.
Yes. Should
I'll stop
we?
sharing.
Yes. Should we say um, something from each of us? I mean, I'm the Swedish one here. We have Francine from Brazil, and we have Gwen from Wales. Gwen, why did you choose to come to study in Sweden?
I actually came to Umeå University as an exchange student in 2016, and I chose it because I thought, when am I ever going to live in northern Sweden again? And then I loved it so much that I actually came back and did a master's in 2018, and then stayed and got a job working with the wonderful international students of Umeå University. So I think that's a testament kind of to the university itself and how well looked after the students are here. That's something that I noticed a big difference compared with my previous university is that the students here are really, really the heart and soul of the university and are the main focus. So if you want to come to a university that really cares about its students, I think Umeå University is the one to choose.
Great. And Francine, how did you
All
make your
right.
way to Sweden, or what do you think living about living here in Umeå?
All right. It was also Umeå University connection. I would say it was love because I came because of my boyfriend at the time. Now my husband came to study at the Umeå Institute of Design, which already then was one of the best design schools in the world. So it was because of Umeå Institute of Design that I'm here and living here for 20 years. We liked it so much, and we thought it was a very safe and organized city. We love the environment at the university. I ended up doing another bachelor's degree here, and then after that, I started working for the university. So I had the privilege to study, to experience the education system in Sweden, and especially here, which I think it was very, very, very different from the education system in Brazil, from my universities there. One thing that we didn't mention is just like, here you study like one course at a time. In Brazil, I was studying six, seven courses parallel. And then at the end of the semester, I was going crazy, not knowing which subject I would start studying for first, when the week of the tests came. So and the freedom that you have, the how approachable the teachers are, it's very easy to talk to people. Everyone is addressed at the first name basis, which for me was also a contrast. There was a lot of prestige in Brazil, professors and this. And I mean, here I'm sitting in a table next to a professor and I'm talking about, I don't know, it could be anything that I did on the weekend. And then we can have like a deep conversation about the topic that you're studying and he's tutoring you. So it was really different. I really loved it.
It's wonderful to hear.
Yeah.
And me, myself, I'm from the south of Sweden, and I was living in the Canaries for a while, Spain, and then we decided to move up to Umeå with my whole family. And I think it's a great place for kids to grow up, and for women, it's really safe and really a friendly place where everyone speaks to you, and yeah, it's really an open-minded city, which is a great thing. Okay, so the recording will be at Meet Umeå University, um, and it will be the recording itself is not sent in the email because it will take a day or so before we upload it, but the link will be in the email that you get, so then you know where to find it. Thank you so much for today, and we are looking forward to seeing you in Umeå. And don't be a stranger. Come up and say hi to us when you're here.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.